Newsflash, stress doesn't care if you're happy. It should seem obvious that stress and happiness don't really go together, but why? Because a lot of times we're trying to stress ourselves out to make ourselves happy. Like, if I just do this thing, if I do this, if I get through A, B, C, and D, then I can be happy. Stress has absolutely nothing to do with happiness. Stress has to do with survival. So how the stress response is supposed to work is you're just living your life, kind of like, a lizard on a rock, just sunning yourself. It's a lovely day, it's warm, whatever, you're cozy, all is good. A threat comes into the environment. Stress level goes up to help you decide, what am I going to do about the threat? And then once I have dealt with the threat, then I'm going to move on, find myself another sunny rock, and go back to relaxation. So, primitive ancestors, this was great because most of their stressors were life or death situations. Predators, other humans who were not friendly, cliffs, things like that. Nowadays, our stressors are not life or death. They might be things like having to work late, doing overtime, having your kids be sick, things like that. Now, those you can't run away from. You can't fight it. I mean, you might be able to fight the overtime, but I don't know how your employer's going to feel about that. You can't fight your child being sick. It is what it is. Is it a stressor? Yes. Can you fight it? No. Can you run away from it? Your kid might not really appreciate it so much, but their therapist years later might be thrilled with the fact that you ran away when they had strep and just didn't return for a while. Fend for yourself. We can't run. So we have these stressors that are not life or death, but our nervous system doesn't know the difference. It just says, oop, there's a threat. Stress comes up to help us deal with it, and it wants to deal with it. And, one of three ways: fight, flight, or freeze. A lot of times we can't do that. So we just sort of push through, kind of, I can do this, I think, maybe. And then the stressor, the threat goes away. Stress kind of comes down. But because it wasn't life or death, these are stressors that we see every day. Every day when you go to work, you have an inbox full of emails. That might stress you out. You might get phone calls. That might stress you out. Your appliances in your home might break down, and that stresses you out. So over and over and over, we have chronic stress. All of these little things piling up. Now, our stress response, which is linked to survival, does not care if you are happy. It does not care if you are living a fulfilling life. Its only purpose is to help you get through the day. Did you die? No? Okay, then what are you complaining about? Is your heart still beating? Okay, well then I did my job. What do you want from me? Stress is not conducive to happiness because it only cares about our survival. And survival is not always happy. I mean, you can have a happy life. You sort of need to survive in order to have a happy life, or you're dead. But survival doesn't necessarily mean you have a happy life. So happiness and survival, two different things. And stress falls into the category of survival. So your stress does not care if you are happy or not. That's not its job.